This brand went from being a random page on Instagram to doing over $50 million per year in revenue. And we're going to break down their $1 million marketing strategy. If you guys aren't familiar with Nude Project, they're one of the hottest clothing brands out right now. If you guys aren't familiar with me, my name is Malik. I built my own 7-figure brand, as you guys can see. It's me in my warehouse just shipping out some orders. I got my Shopify plaque right here. And I do these live audits, these breakdowns on my Instagram page for brand owners, but I figured I'd put it in a YouTube video today. So we're going to go over everything behind Nude Project and what's allowed them to hit $50 million in revenue annually. And I truly believe it isn't luck. It all comes down to their content strategy and their actual acquisition funnel. We're going to jump right into their content because that's something they do extremely well. And honestly, all brands are built off of content. There's no such thing as building a brand without content. And if we jump over to their Instagram page, as you guys can see, they have 1.6 million followers, but it doesn't look like a traditional brand page. They're just straight up like lifestyle maxing. When you look at this, you want to be a part of whatever it is they got going on. Right now it's summertime. They're doing a really good job of going over that whole entire like theme season aesthetic. And a lot of this is like on the water, they're in swimsuits, on boats. It's very well executed, and honestly, it's extremely impressive. Like if you look at their rollouts for some of their drops, they're not just doing a normal, flat lay of a white background showcasing their products. They do stuff like this, right? And they tie in the whole entire collection into a certain theme, and they use video content so the customer can feel like they'll be living this lifestyle when they partake in buying items from the brand. Now, what they're actually doing here is called world building. They're creating these specific scenarios in different environments that they know their ideal customer would want to partake in. And the only way for their customers to partake in it is to buy pieces from their drops, right? They do a really good job of doing these different rollouts where they're showcasing the products, showing them on models, and it's not your traditional rollout. Another thing that stands out about Nude Project is the fact that they're not afraid to do these polarizing pieces of content, and it fits their brand very well. I mean, it ties in directly to the name, and it separates them from these other brands and their similar threshold, and I think it's something very unique about them. And another thing I discovered was their TikTok page. They're actually not really selling on here. To me, it seems as if they have multiple people on their team kind of playing like the influencer role, being the face of the brand. And I think this is a very good way to attract customers without actually having to sell them anything. Even the two founders make appearances on this TikTok page as well. So I think it's a great way for customers to, actually see who's behind the brand. Now, what we're about to jump into is the actual acquisition funnel, how they're converting, this big audience into actual customers. And it's very, very interesting. As you guys can see, I broke it down into many different pieces, and I stole the same funnel from my brand, and it worked extremely well. So starting off, we're going to jump to their ads library, but they're running these ads that kind of funnel people to this opt-in page, and I'm going to show you guys what I mean by that. All right, so I'm in the Meta Ads library. If you guys aren't familiar with this tool, you can pretty much spy on any brand that's currently running ads, but Nude Project has 160 active ads as of right now that are live, and majority of these are just regular image ads, which is very interesting. They're not running any carousels, at least any that I saw, and they're running very little video ads. Now, the crazy part about all of this is 80% of these ads are funneling people to an opt-in page, and all of them have this private sale live now, Nude members only. And it's funneling them to this opt-in page where they have to exchange their phone number, their email in order to get access to this sale. And it's genius when you think about it, because not one are you building up your email list, but it makes your customers feel like they're accessing something that's exclusive. And this is the exact same strategy that I use to grow my list to over 40,000 profiles just by funneling people through the ads. And then they also have ads like this just showcasing the products. It's not really selling anything, but you guys can see private sale is now live only for key members, register to unlock. And it's completely free to register. Like I said, you just exchange your phone number and your email, and boom, now you have access to the sale. Now, if we jump on their site, you're still able to shop and access it, even if you don't opt into the private sale. You guys can see there's a banner up here just saying how long the sale is going to last. And they have this very strong hero image. But one thing I wanted to point out is the pricing. They are honestly kind of high ticket when it comes to clothing, and their content kind of backs that up, right? When people see high quality content, they can already assume or they can justify the high pricing, right? So just for this bikini top, $69, the bottom, $64. just for, a separate set. That's $120 for a bikini. And they're able to get away with that because of how high quality their content actually is. Now, here's what that private sale opt-in page actually looks like. Like I said, you can sign up with your email, create a password, and you can register as a Nude member, and you have access to the private sale. But they're also doing this football raffle entry, which I think is very interesting because one, you're able to win these products and feel like you're a part of something, but it's just genius marketing because they're only doing this because the World Cup is active right now. So you guys can see Nude Project takes you to the final just for €1. Okay, so you buy a €1 ticket and you'll automatically be entered into the raffle. Every time Spain wins, we give away a one-of-one item. So they're tying in, the whole entire cultural aspect of what's going on right now actively in the world into their brand, and they're doing it in a way where they can raffle off these products and upsell their customers. So however many raffle tickets you buy, I believe, like I said, it's €1. It gives you more entries and a better chance of winning these products, which I think is amazing. They're building a community, connecting with their community, and they're also upselling and profiting off of it. Another thing I thought was pretty cool is they released these football tees, but the only way to have access to it is once again through the private sale. But you can also get them for free if you have an order over €200, right? So it's another way to upsell their customers and another way to get people to join that private sale. And I just think it's genius, right? They have all these different items. They released a whole entire collection that's exclusively accessible through the private sale. Now, if we look at one of their collection pages, something that stands out here is that they're doing a mix of flat lays and on body that are being showcased on the front of the collection. And they also do a really good job of tying in like these header images where you can go in and shop specific items. And this is just really good to keep the whole entire brand aesthetic and theme very apparent and visible to the shopper. And if we click into one of these right here, they have tons of product photos. And this is something that I go over with my one-on-one clients, some other brands that I work with. Typically, they'll have like 2 to 4 product images. And I'm like, guys, you need a bunch of product photos. You see, they're showing off the details of the distressing, the back pocket. Like, this is the key piece of the product. They have the whole entire, their thing where they do the little tag inside of the zipper, which I like. And they show it on a woman as well, even though this isn't a part of a woman's collection. And once again, they're showcasing the brand theme, the aesthetic, all on the product page. So that way everything seems consistent throughout the site. And here we have, the product being showcased more. And it's just very well done, guys. Like, if you want a brand to reference, I highly recommend you guys pay attention to Nude Project. If we scroll down, they have the details. This is obviously objection handling. All the questions a customer could possibly have before ordering your item needs to be answered on the product page. So it has shipping, exchanges, returns. This isn't a US brand, so this is very key. And obviously they have their upsell items here at the bottom so you can continue shopping without leaving the product page. Very simple, very clean, but very effective. Something they also do is showcase videos on the actual product page so people can see the product live in action. And this is very, very strong if you want to increase your conversion rate. And another thing I like is on each product, they have their own individual unique product descriptions that are just kind of like a punchline. So for this specific product, it says, "I've never seen a person stressed while drinking a pina colada." I just think it's very, very unique. And they have so many small things about their brand that generally makes them stand out. Going down to their footer section, there's not too much to point out, but something I wanted to mention was the fact that you can actually select your preferences for their email marketing, whether it's men, women, or if you want both. And then they have a stay in the loop, sign up and get 5% off, which is really cool. Before we jump into the cart page, I want to show you guys how they have 2 buttons here. One to buy now, obviously send you straight to the checkout. But when you add a product to cart, it comes up with this little pop-up right here where it says you check out, and it's only here for a few seconds. You guys can see it'll disappear. And I really like that because you don't have to actually go to the cart in order to check out, no matter which option you choose right here. But if we do open the cart, there's a lot of room for improvement here, and that's being, the free shipping threshold is all the way down here at the bottom. I think this should be at the top, and there's no room for upsells. And their free shipping threshold is pretty high. This is a $129 product. I have 2 of them in the cart, so the total is $258, and I still have to spend $142 more to unlock free shipping. They're definitely not playing about their AOV, but I think they should have some extra products up here. Excuse me. And there you have it, guys. This is my full breakdown on Nude Project, their entire acquisition funnel, their content strategy. And if you're a brand owner who's looking for audits like this or just any extra help with your brand, there's a link down below to work with me if you're interested. I also have a marketing agency where I offer marketing services. But for now, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to leave a like, comment if this was helpful, and I'll see you in the next one.